most things, other than to a mathematician, are random. So we must think in those terms. How can we make it random? One of the easiest ways is to simply just throw everything. So if you put down glue and then you just shake this out onto it,
that's random.
It'll be random. And you see? It looks rather natural. So what we will literally do is throw it. Why not? That's a mass, but it's very debilitating.
Yeah, especially if you don't get any breaks and get underneath the some shade.
We have a 30-minute break from 12:15 to 12:45. That's it. And there is no shade.
So are you breaking up the coarse clumps?
I am. I'm breaking them up so that some of them are tiny, George. Not all of them, but some of them.
He's going to have little bushes and big bushes.
There you go.
Adding to the randomness.
Now, it being dry like that compared to damp, is it just going to absorb and hold only the brown, or can you put in other colors? Will they hold?
I can do anything I want.
Okay.
Because I'm wetting it.
Okay.
This is not just dry.
Right.
If you look, I'm wetting it as I go. So we're going to have a little fun with this particular area right here. I want to do that almost completely tonight. Now, see this bit that has all these little angles coming out at all different directions? You know what that's going to look like when we're done? Shrubbery.
Oh.
It's going to look like trees. You only have to have one or two really detailed trees in a grouping. And you put it like here, and then you just put the suggestion of trees around it, and nobody knows the difference. They all think in terms of, there's a tree. Now, once again, it's time to get dirty.
And you want to wash that stuff off right away.
Reasonably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're...
Can't
the
move your
worst
fingers.
stuff is... Do we all know what the worst stuff is? CA.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sticks everything but what it wants to.
Now, I'll tell you a horror story. I was building a building of Hydrocal, and I wanted to put the two corners together, and I was in a hurry. So I... Okay, so now we're going to get to play with... What did I make up earlier? I just took a bunch of stuff.
Tumbleweed.
Now, we're not throwing any of this away, okay?
That wasn't very well.
You can use real dirt, no question.
That's a
In
mixture.
fact, I recommend, if you want to
Several
make
grades
a
of,
dirt parking lot, the best thing
You got this
that
stuff.
I believe you can use is clay from a pitcher's diamond. And I got that from,
In Pitcher's Mound?
yeah.
Would you get
Self-
something like that at Home Depot, or?
No, where you'd get it is, in fact, I just saw it at a place where you buy bark mulch.
Oh.
Okay.
And they had,
So
garden supply.
landscaping and...
yes,
yeah.
and they actually said you could buy, some people like it for kids' play boxes. And so you could buy that stuff. Okay, so you've seen what we've done here a little bit. It's a horizontal surface there, right? So let's do and put a couple of shrubs. Is there anything planned or organized about what I'm doing?
No.
Thank you.
Random.
Random, thank you.
Like your brain, Ian.
Mother
You'll get the
Nature.
bill.
All right, go ahead and look at that. What we have to do is make it
Don't wear the Sunday boots in here.
wet. So I put a drop of soap in there. What does wet water do? Anybody know?
breaks the.
It spreads.
Helps you, breaks the.
Surface tension.
Surface tension, you're absolutely right. Very good, very few people know that. The woodworking glue is much stronger.
Yeah.
And as such, if you're doing it like this,
Yeah.
this is better. The question was asked, it doesn't appear that all the pieces you have affixed are locked in with the glue that you used. And the answer to that is very true, they're not. So how do we deal with that? So what we're doing is we're adding a mixture of 50-50 water glue. And I like to saturate it. We can now take some of this so it's on some of the spots, like plants would be, and not on others. I don't want it all up here. So I brush it off. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
You can even go back after it's dry and brush it off some more. Just by spraying a little water on it before it sets up too much. Can we paint this? Absolutely. I'd rather not have pink show through. Okay. So you don't want to get your hands dirty. Okay, that's cool. Why is that one not fixed? Let's go back.
Now, what was the plastic? What's the platform? Wood glue. Wood glue. What's the
Now,
casting silk form?
there are different effects you can achieve. And sometimes, by the way, this will get so saturated it falls off. Oh well. So let's look at one of the effects you can achieve with your hand. See what I'm doing? I'm just clumping it and pushing it into the glue. How many times do I have to do that? Maybe more than once. Glue is its own master. And if you get frustrated easily, well, this might be problematic.
That's when you call you.
And when you're done with a batch, just throw it into the mix. I often just take an empty one of these and label it mix and just fill it with a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
If you still have some gaps, just add glue and
more.
more stuff.
And what I usually add is the clump. If you have a gap that you want to fill, use the clump. The clump will look like bushes are growing out of a crevasse. Before I work on them, I usually do what?
Wet 'em.
Wet them.
Nice waterfall.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of the black and put it on the side. Just on the side. Why? Because of that. Now, there are some times where I want it to be. If you let it sit for a little bit, just a little bit, like we have now, and then scrub it in, look what happens. You have shadows and highlights. We're going to do it up here. See how it's pretty much uniform? Watch. Is that uniform anymore?
Now, you don't have to put plastic cloth covering all the foam. I saw you just put it right on the foam.
Yes, you don't. I wanted to show that you don't. Do I usually? Yep, I do. I like to take it and paint it a brown or a green. I like to have it there because it provides an adhesive texture base for what we're doing.
Okay.
Now you notice that some of this is coming out sort of a dirty gray. I love that. All right, now, see how I'm going over the areas I've already done? Just because when you do this, I was gonna bring a Scotch-Brite and I didn't. Anybody have a Scotch-Brite?
Yes, I didn't take it and put it back in my toolbox.
Now I'll show you something I don't like here, if everybody wants to come in a little close. You see how where my finger is pointed?
Yeah.
Actually, George, we do have, I don't know if this is what you're looking for. It's a pad more than...
No, but thank you. See how this is lighter in the crevasse here? All right. Doesn't happen in nature that way, typically. Anything's possible, but not typically. So watch. Highly wet in there. Go into the dark areas. Where is it you want dark? Why do we want some areas dark?
Depth, shade.
Shade. Highs and lows. That's better. Now let's see if we can lighten that up. Yep.
I don't have any Scotch-Brite, sorry.
Okay. I promise to bring it next week. So, let's talk about this. All rocks are not gray. Some are brown and some are yellow. So see how we have this? This is a mixture of some gray water and some of the brown. All I'm doing is rubbing it. That allows for the highlights to come through. Now I actually don't think that you can see enough of a shadow there. But you can now. So what else can we do to this to kind of bring it out? Well, for one thing, that needs some of the magic mix. There's a nice little crevice here. Now, some people say, well, I want to see the crevice. Good, go for it. I just want to have a little bit of green running up this, like you'd see in the mountains of New Hampshire or Massachusetts. All right, can you see what I've done?
Yeah.
See how I've done this? So you still have this gray-brown rock, more brown rock. Now here, it's not really blending the way I would like it to from the plaster cloth to the stone. So I brought some of the glue out onto the stone. George, would you do me a favor and hand me the second bit? Yeah, I'll take both. That's good. All right, so now we're going to take straight conifer. Ooh, I thought he always mixed them. These are the ones that frost me the most because they tend not to stay. Why? Because you're working on a vertical surface. So, a lot of times I'll find a horizontal spot, I can push it in, let that dry, and then build off it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like that. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to spray what we just did so that it stays.